Midnight Park had once been a beacon of joy and laughter, its brightly colored rides spinning and twinkling under the sun by day and glowing with neon brilliance under the stars by night. But that was long ago. Now it stood as a decrepit skeleton on the outskirts of town, its rides frozen in rusted silence, its once vibrant atmosphere replaced by an eerie stillness. Legend whispered that Midnight Park was cursed, a place where shadows moved on their own accord, where time seemed to stand still, and where the laughter of children echoed in the wind like a haunting melody. Few dared to venture near, for those who did spoke of inexplicable phenomena, disembodied voices, flickering light, and a pervasive feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. One autumn evening, a group of friends, Nia, Emmett, and Alex, gathered at a local diner, swapping ghost stories over cups of steaming coffee. As the night wore on and the wind whistled through the streets, their conversation turned to Midnight Park, a place they had all heard tales about, but had never dared to explore. "It's just an old amusement park," Emmett scoffed, trying to mask his unease and bravado. "There's nothing there but rust and cobweb." But Nia's eyes gleamed with curiosity, a spark of adventure igniting within her. "Maybe so," she replied, her voice tinged with excitement. "But what if there's more to it? What if there's truth to the stories?" Alex chuckled nervously, glancing out the diner window at the dark silhouette of Midnight Park against the night sky. "Are you suggesting we go check it out?" Nia hesitated, her mind racing with equal parts fear and fascination. "Why not?" she finally said, her voice more confident than she felt. "We've heard the stories. It's time to see for ourselves." Emmett rolled his eyes, but nodded reluctantly. "Fine, but let's make it quick. I don't want to get caught trespassing." With their decision made, the friends drove to the outskirts of town where Midnight Park lay in silent vigil. The air grew colder as they approached, the rustling of leaves and the creaking of the abandoned rides creating a haunting symphony in the darkness. They slipped through a gap in the fence, their footsteps echoing on the cracked pavement as they ventured deeper into the heart of Midnight Park. The moon cast eerie shadows that danced across the desolate carnival games and faded posters advertising long-gone attractions. Their first step was the Ferris wheel, a towering structure that loomed against the night sky like a skeletal sentinel. Its cabin swung gently in the breeze, their glass windows cracked and splintered. Nia hesitated, her gaze fixed on a particular cabin where a flickering light seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. Emmett scoffed, his voice echoing through the stillness. "Probably just some old wiring," he muttered, though his eyes betrayed a hint of uncertainty. As they moved on, the friends explored the remnants of Midnight Park, the ghostly carousel with its chipped horses frozen mid-gallop, the dilapidated roller coaster whose tracks wound through overgrown foliage, and the haunted house with its gaping maw and peeling paint. It was in the heart of the haunted house that they encountered their first inexplicable phenomenon. A cold draft that swept through the corridors, extinguishing their flashlights with a chilling breeze. Darkness enveloped them, broken only by the faint glow of moonlight filtering through shattered windows. Nia's heart raced as she groped for her flashlight, her fingers trembling with fear and anticipation. The air seemed to thicken around them, heavy with a palpable sense of unease. "Did you hear that?" Alex whispered, his voice barely audible over the sound of their racing hearts. Nia strained to listen, her senses on high alert. Faint footsteps echoed in the distance, a rhythmic tap, tap, tap that seemed to draw nearer and nearer with each passing moment. Emmett gripped her arm, his eyes wide with fear as they scanned the darkness for any sign of movement. Suddenly, a figure materialized before them. A child, pale and translucent, her eyes wide with fear and confusion. She wore clothes that seemed out of place, from another era, and her presence filled the air with an otherworldly chill. "Help me," the child whispered, her voice echoing through the abandoned corridors. Nia's breath caught in her throat, her mind struggling to comprehend the sight before her. The child's form flickered like a candle in the wind, her features blurred and indistinct. Emmett stumbled backward, his voice trembling with disbelief. "This can't be happening." But before they could react, the child vanished into thin air, leaving only the echo of her plea lingering in the darkness. The friends stood frozen in shock, their hearts pounding and minds reeling from the encounter. "We have to get out of here," Alex finally said, his voice hoarse with fear. Agreeing without hesitation, they fled from the haunted house, their footsteps echoing on the cobblestone path as they raced through Midnight Park. The air around them seemed charged with an otherworldly energy, shadows flickering and dancing along the deserted rides and attractions. As they reached the fence, Nia looked back at Midnight Park, a place that exuded joy and wonder now shrouded in darkness and despair. The Ferris wheel stood silent and still against the backdrop of the moonlit sky, its cabins empty and motionless. They left through the gap in the fence and returned to the quiet street, their minds reeling from what they had witnessed. The distant echo of children's laughter lingered in their ears, a haunting reminder of the innocence lost and the curse that bound Midnight Park to its tragic fate.